Every year on or around June 12, there will always be a counterfactual comment that Philippine independence should rightfully be celebrated on July 4, Philippine-American Friendship Day. Attempting to settle this debate opens us to more than these two dates. It is not well known that in 1930 U.S. Senator Harry Hawes, one of the principal authors of the Hawes-Cutting Act providing for a timetable for Philippine independence, asked Speaker Manuel Rojas for a preferred date. Rojas chose December 30 to commemorate the martyrdom of José Rizal, a pragmatist. He even added that December was one of the coolest months of the year in the islands, cool for Independence Day celebrations. To Rojas' disappointment, however, the U.S. Senate Committee on Insular Affairs, in 1931, changed the date in the Hawes-Cutting Act and set the date at July 4. After the act was vetoed by U.S. President Herbert Hoover, it was resubmitted with Rojas objecting to July 4. Senate President pro tempore Sergio Osmeña, the other half of the ASROC's mission for self-government and independence of the Philippines, then persuaded Rojas to withdraw his objection to the July 4 date on the grounds that the independence of the Philippines was more important than a date for Independence Day. The rest, as they say, is history. Senate President Manuel Luis Quezon brought home the bacon with the Tidings-McDuffie Law of 1934. At the end of the Second World War, the U.S. recognized the independence of the Philippines on July 4, 1946. Independence Day was celebrated on July 4 from 1946 to 1961 when, with the stroke of Diosdado Macapagal's pen, Philippine Independence Day was moved to June 12, with July 4 rebranded as Republic Day, and later rebranded again as Filipino-American Friendship Day. It is quite curious that the Philippines gave a spin on our colonial past by commemorating Philippine-Spanish Friendship Day on June 30, and Philippines-Japan Friendship Month in July. Macapagal did not pick June 12 out of a hat. He consulted Filipino historians. Problem is that historians are notorious for balking consensus, making for not one but many possible dates for Philippine independence. So aside from July 4 and June 12, the other options were April 12, 1895, when Supremo Andrés Bonifacio and the Katipuneros proclaimed independence from Spain by writing "Long live Philippine Independence," or words to that effect, on the walls of Palmitin and Cave in Rizal. This date was shot down by those who felt that graffiti on a cave wall did not make for a declaration, so they proposed the date in the last days of August when Bonifacio tore his cedula in Balintawak, declared Philippine independence and called for revolution. The official date is now pegged at August 23, 1896, and the site given is Pugadlawin despite arguments from proponents of other dates and other sites. Esteban de Ocampo, a Cavite historian, provided two dates. First, October 31, 1896, based on a decree signed by then Magdalo member Emilio Aguinaldo calling for revolution against Spain. Second, June 12, 1898, when Ambrosio Ryanzares Bautista read the Declaration of Independence from the window of Aguinaldo's call at home. A proposed date that did not prosper was October 14, 1943, when then President José P. Laurel declared the Philippines independent under the Japanese occupation. Macapagal also chose from January 21, 1899, the opening of the Malolos Congress, and January 23, 1898. Actually September 29, when the Malolos Congress ratified the June 12 Declaration of Independence and called it. To cut the long story short, Macapagal chose June 12 on the recommendation of Gabriel Fabella of the Philippine Historical Association. June 12, 1898 is a reference point that calls on all Filipinos to rally to the flag and commemorate the birth of the nation. Proclaiming or declaring independence is different from attaining independence. Philippine independence is a precious gift that has to be nurtured and protected 24/7.